partners, political leaders, and friends in the AWT Transformation Training Center. My name is Teresa Simons, and I am honored to serve as the Executive Director of the Alliance for Working Together Foundation. AWT is fortunate to have a dedicated, hands-on board of directors who are passionate about promoting manufacturing to the next generation. Since our last annual meeting, we welcomed 2 new members to our AWT Foundation board. I'm happy to introduce you to our new board members, Megan Lombardi, who's the Operations Manager at Eaton Aerospace Fuel and Motion Control Division. Unfortunately, she's working today and couldn't come, but she's amazing. And Jessica Moles, Vice President of Strategic Sourcing with Steris. We love Jessica. We're so glad that she joined us on the board. Such a great addition. Megan took over for Mike Mulroy in July, and Jessica replaced Rosmal Heredia on our board in September of 23. We're so glad to have all of our board members with us. The AWT is comprised of leaders and manufacturers in our community. We're proud of the commitment they have to furthering our mission. I would like to thank the board of directors for their continued commitment and support. If I could ask all of our AWT board members to stand and be recognized. Nobody ever wants to stand. And so many of those board members have been around for years, and they are people that are working behind the scenes, contacting people, working on putting programs together. We really do appreciate them. On behalf of the board of directors, I'd like to thank you for attending the annual meeting. We appreciate your support and commitment to the continued growth of our manufacturing sector. Through training and increased awareness, we're making a difference for the next generation. Thank you to our event sponsor, Dworkin & Bernstein, longtime supporters of AWT. A single lawyer cannot adequately provide legal representation in all areas. In business for over 60 years and with more than 30 attorneys focusing on distinct and diverse areas of the law, Dworkin & Bernstein is able to offer clients comprehensive representation. A commercial real estate matter may touch on estate planning. A family matter may overlap with a business concern. A personal injury matter may raise employment issues. As a legal team, Dworkin has the experience to address just about any legal issue that concerns individuals, families, and businesses. They have 2 locations in Painesville and also in downtown Cleveland. Dworkin is also well recognized for their Ohio Lawyers Give Back program, whereby over $50 million from unclaimed class action funds have been redirected to charities and nonprofits in Ohio, helping our community and the people they serve. We would like to thank our breakfast sponsor, All Contractor Supply. Founded in 2011 by Kim Gilmore, All Contractor Supply's mission is to be your trusted source of products, expertise, and VIP customer service. After working in the construction field for more than a decade, Kim saw a need for more diversified range of products coming from a convenient single supplier. As the owner of All Contractor Supply and Raw Roofing, Kim is a dedicated businesswoman in the construction industry. Kim was the recipient of the Ohio Department of Development WBE loan program, the first in Lake County. Kim is an exceptional leader and an unwavering passion for the success of women in the trades. And I would say, she says in the trades, she is a champion for every woman. I'm pleased to introduce Kim Gilmore to share a few words.
Hello, everybody. And they say if you say you're nervous when you get up here, it's better. So I'm going to just say I'm nervous, and it's no better. But I just want to say a little bit to the city of Mentor. Kevin and Kelly with Miko, and Ken as well with Miko. I was the recipient of the WBE loan, which gave me the opportunity to get the loan program for women-owned business enterprise, and what that is up to $500,000 at 1%. And then I was linked in with Miko and the city of Mentor that was also able to give me some more money. So All Contractor Supply and Raw Roofing, our new home now is on 7750 Division Street. Neil Sawicki was our broker. out there in the crowd, I think we should start something like this for the roofing community. We do need that in trades. Being that I'm in the trades, I feel that there's a need in trades and also a need in college. I should have never went to college. I found my love in the trades. That's why I worked in the trades. And now I have 2 businesses in the trades. So if there's anybody that needs information about the WBE loan, it's not just for construction, it's for any woman in the industry. So more than happy to help you with that. Thank you, Roger. And Teresa.
Thank you, Kim. So I first met Kim last year. We went through Leadership Lake County together, and she was the cheerleader for the entire group the entire time. Every day, if she was tired or not, she was always cheering everyone on, so we appreciate Kim. The AWT Foundation's mission is to promote the development of rewarding careers in manufacturing for the long-term success and growth of the manufacturing community. We would like to thank our elected officials for working alongside us, many of whom have joined us today. Thank you for your continued support. Please stand to be recognized. Commissioner John Hamerchuk, Commissioner John Plechnik, Commissioner Rich Regovich, Katie Berger with Congressman Dave Joyce's office. Mary Kate Hastings was here earlier from the Lieutenant Governor's office and had to leave, but she's another great advocate. It's amazing how many times they're out in the community. Everybody knows Katie. I don't know that there's a thing that I don't see you at. I don't know when you sleep. Representative Jamie Callender, AWT's long... You can stand for this whole paragraph. AWT's longtime champion, one of the General Assembly's leaders on education and workforce policy, among others. When the Speaker, he has served with 3 this second time in the House, needs an experienced policymaker to tackle a tough issue, Representative Callender gets the call. We are fortunate to call him a friend of AWT. Representative Steve Demetrio. Oh, he's in the back. In his first term, this West Point graduate, decorated veteran, successful small business owner, and Geauga County resident has demonstrated his ability to quickly grasp and take action on issues facing the manufacturing sector of Northeast Ohio. His service on House Ways and Means has also given him the opportunity to lead on tax issues facing our businesses and families. Representative Dan Troy. What can we say about our good friend and supporter, Dan Troy? That for decades, he has been out front and center helping address our manufacturing, education, and workforce preparedness issues. He understands Lake County, and we are fortunate to have him back in Columbus. Like Representative Demetrio, as Vice Chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, Representative Troy has shown his ability to work across the aisle to benefit the taxpayers of Lake County. Senator Jerry Serino. Finishing his first term in the Senate, Senator Serino has risen to leadership in the majority with lightning speed, which is very helpful to us in Northeast Ohio and Lake County. Serving as Vice Chairman of Finance and Chair of Higher Education, he is not afraid to take on sensitive issues that need to be addressed. Senator Matt Dolan. AWT is very fortunate to have a friend in Senator Dolan who has consistently been a voice of reason and balance on most, if not all, important issues that have faced Ohio over his last 7 years in the state Senate. He has been a passionate advocate for manufacturing and workforce development issues, demonstrated in several operating and capital budgets that he has helped craft. At this time, I would like to invite Senator Jerry Serino to share a few words.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here with all of you. Every time I walk in this building, I kind of get, as we used to say for those of us at a certain age, goosebumps, because I remember when there was nothing here, right? And before I take the privilege of introducing my friend and colleague, Senator Dolan, I would like to embarrass Roger a little bit. Would that be okay? I do that quite often, and Roger's used, not every day, at least every other day, Roger. Try to give you a little bit of a break. But I've known Roger, like many of you, for a very long time, and knew his precious Judy. And we liked Judy a lot more than Roger, of course. But, you know, this may be a surprise to some of you, but Roger can be very persistent, okay? I would describe him as like that little dog that attaches itself to your leg and just won't let go. And Roger has been a propagator of a recognition for the manufacturing sector for a very, very long time, okay? And he just never gives up. And when he decides he wants a project done, he sets his sights on who are all the folks who could help make it happen, many of you in this room, and where he has to go to help get things financed if financing is necessary. And he is just so persistent, and for those of us in the legislature that helped out in past budgets and will, I'm sure, in future budgets, help out with projects such as this. You know, Roger, if there's not an outside force coming at us all the time and reminding us how important this is, how critical it is for the local economy, how critical it is to solving job issues, job availability issues with the workforce. You know, we have a lot of things going on in the legislature, and people like Roger help make sure that these issues and the solutions to the issues are top of mind for us all the time, and that's how things happen here. And I know my colleagues in the House here, and certainly Senator Dolan, we've all tried to work together for what is good for Northeast Ohio, in particular for Lake County here and the surrounding counties as well. So Roger, your persistence is a good thing. I tease you a lot about it, but it's a good thing, and I hope you never stop. So let's give Roger a round of applause. I know I'm going to regret this. I'm going to drive home this morning and regret not picking on him a little bit more, but somebody asked me to be nice to him. So it's so easy to be nice to Roger, so I don't have any problem with that. Now, to Senator Dolan, a friend and a colleague. I'm privileged to work with him on the Finance Committee as his vice chair. He's been doing that for a long time in the Senate, did it in the House when he was there. And you know, he's a hometown kid from Northeast Ohio. I heard rumors that he kind of likes baseball a little bit, and has something to do with that. He still gets mad at me when I refer to them as the Indians, but I'm beginning to work my way through that now. It takes a couple of years. But if I had to name somebody who I would consider to be truly consequential in the legislature, and particularly right now in the Senate for the last 7.5 years, it would be Matt Dolan. As finance chair particularly, but also in other areas, he has been Northeast Ohio's biggest supporter. He has made things happen. I've been in the room with him during budget discussions, and I've seen firsthand his level of commitment to this part of the state. Obviously, we're all committed to the whole state, but we have districts and we have hometown areas, whether they're in our district or not. And there's lots of opportunities to either stand up for your community or to just kind of sit in the background. He doesn't sit in the background. He is always looking out for our economy, for our community, for our public safety. And he is going to be sorely missed. We hope he goes on to something bigger and better, but he will be sorely missed as he is term limited in the Ohio Senate. And so, first of all, I think we should thank him for all of his dedication for what he has done for Northeast Ohio. So can we give him a round of applause for that? So without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce my friend and colleague, Senator Matt Dolan.
All right, good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you, Jerry, very much. The reality is Jerry had to make some stuff up because we're stretching a little bit now because our keynote speaker's just running a little bit late. So I appreciate you coming up with all those adjectives at the spur of the moment. So look, as everyone said, it's great to be here because it just feels like yesterday we were just up the road just a little bit talking about what this was going to be like. And now seeing the realization of it, it certainly, all our efforts, of course this whole table helped out, speaks volumes as to what we can do when the public and private sectors come together and say, what are the challenges facing our state? What are the challenges facing our nation? And we understand one of the challenges facing our state and nation is that we need to make sure that we are a leader again in manufacturing. That we have to understand that manufacturing isn't what it used to be. And I think anyone who knows that looks at the bricks and mortar that are here right now. And the first thing you notice when you travel the state and you get to go on these factory tours is that it is as bright and clean as you have your facility here today. So that when a young man or a young woman comes in and thinks, I want to go into manufacturing, they walk into a clean, bright, vibrant building, they'll know that they picked a career that not only will help them, help them economically, they'll have a skill that they can use the rest of their life, but of course it helps our country and helps our state. So Roger, thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for giving it the chance. So when you speak at an event like this, it truly is speaking to the choir, because I don't think I have to convince anybody here the importance of skilled manufacturing. But I guess I'd like to talk about what we in the state are beginning to understand, what you guys know every day, is that the challenges that we're facing are, we have the manufacturing know-how, but we got to make sure we have the manufacturer employees. And to do that, you have to start much, much younger than we have in the past. For years, I went to high school a long time ago, but let's be honest. Those who went into vocational, you're like, well, I guess those kids, good people, but they couldn't make it academically. And what we're seeing around the state is the more you approach a child at an earlier age and walk them through the career they can have in skilled manufacturing, the more facilities like this fill up. And we're proud to say, Lydia, when she gets here, maybe she can update it, but as of December of last year, there was a waiting list at every vocational center in Ohio. That is fantastic. And in large part, it's because truly the investment that you made, but we've made investments like this all throughout the state to make sure that a kid knows that the careers are available to them. And the one thing that I like, and I'm sure I know Lincoln does this. I'm pretty sure Lincoln does this, but I know of manufacturers all over the state that do this. Is okay, you take a child from high school, and they start working for you, skilled manufacturing. And yet that employer is the one saying, you know what? Let's go on and get you a degree. Let's go get you an associate's degree. Let's go get you a bachelor's degree. And guess who helps pay for it? The employer. So it is you as much as anybody that is helping drive that economy. And look, when my job today is to introduce Lydia, so I guess I'll do it, and then I'll turn it over to back to Teresa. The best thing I can say about Lydia for you is that she gets it. She gets it. And what I mean by she gets it is Lydia grew up in Findlay, Ohio, went to Findlay University, and became mayor of Findlay. So she's a politician. But in her time as mayor of Findlay, she got things done. But then the Governor DeWine asked her to give up being mayor and become the director of development. Now she became a bureaucrat. And I know when I speak to a bunch of businessmen and manufacturers and I use the word bureaucracy or bureaucrat, it's not necessarily a compliment. But what we have in Lydia is somebody who understands that her role in the Department of Development is to move at the speed of you, is that she's responsible for a number of things. One is that we in the legislature decide how we want your money to be spent. So she holds your taxpayer dollars, and we say we want those monies to go out to impactful developmental programs. Impactful meaning, do you have the right infrastructure? Impactful meaning, do you have the right skill sets? So when we talk about workforce, we do a good job of creating the dollars. Lydia is the person who enacts those dollars. So when I say we have waiting lists everywhere, it's because she made sure that those dollars got to the right spot so that these folks, rooms like this are full. So she gets it. So it is really nice when I get to work with her as the finance chair, and we say, hey, Lydia, we're about to send you billions of dollars, and here's what we want this money to go towards. And we want this money to be impactful. Now, I'm not going to break news today, and I don't know if she's going to break news today, but shortly we're going to hear the results of her hard work, what we did in the legislature and said, here's some dollars we want you to make impactful. And I think when she announces what she's going to do, I don't know if she's going to do it today or not, I think you're going to go, wow. Finally, somebody took taxpayer dollars and said, this will make a difference 15 to 20 years in the future, and that's what we want. So I think we're probably going to take a little break because she's coming up from Columbus today, but she's speaking to you as somebody who understands what you need. She's speaking to understands what our job is, and I think with her leadership, we will continue to have openings like this all throughout the state. So I'm going to turn it over now, but when she gets here, give her a warm welcome, our Development Director, Lydia Mahalik.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So the latest we heard is just a few minutes. So we'll go through a little bit of updates that we have. Obviously it's an exciting time. Yeah? Okay. So it's an exciting time for us in the state of Ohio because, as Senator Dolan said, there's a lot of investment in manufacturing, and we're so pleased to have this facility and the programs and the people around it that we do. Obviously most of you know this started in 2002 when Roger gathered a group of individuals to sit around and figure out what was working for somebody and what wasn't working for someone else, try to help each other. They quickly decided at every turn that they needed trained people. And obviously everyone still needs trained people. So we are on a mission to make sure that we're promoting those careers to the children from K through 12 and then working to train our incumbent workers. This past year at AWT was an incredible year for us. By exposing people to manufacturing early, we continue to strengthen the future of our region. AWT's expanded training capabilities through this center ensure the ability to upskill the current workforce and bring new workers to the industry. We have a bit of a staff update. We try to invest in people as well. So in 22, Ronnie was an intern for us, and he's back there on the camera. He did an internship through his IT CTE program, was with us for a short period, came back in 23 as a part-time employee, and then starting in 24 is full-time. So I'm gonna turn it over. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to Senator Dolan to do a quick introduction of Lydia.
Help me out here. So everything I just said, you remember it? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the Development Director, Lydia Mahalik.
Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? It's a beautiful day in Lake County. You've probably heard everything that you need to know, right? Senators, good to see you. Representatives, local elected officials, esteemed business owners. It's great to be here. I was here, I think, not too long ago, and it was great to have a tour of the building and get to hear all of the great things that were happening at AWT. It's a very impressive place. The Lieutenant Governor speaks very fondly of all of the activity that is happening here, and I was happy to be able to see it firsthand. I am certain that you have had a very productive meeting so far, so thank you so much for inviting me to join you all this morning. This is a really exciting time to be living in Ohio right now. And I am very pleased to have the opportunity to share how we have been working to capitalize on our state's unprecedented growth over the last several years to be able to further cement Ohio as the true heart of opportunity. What you are doing each and every day to promote Ohio as a great place to find a great job, to raise a family, to live your best life is very important to the overall health of our state. I recognize that the challenges that each and every one of you face as business leaders and manufacturers, especially when it comes to workforce development, are difficult. But I want to start with this. The Ohio Department of Development and the DeWine-Husted administration, we are committed to helping every Ohioan live up to their full potential. We are here to help and to ensure you and every single one of your teams find success. It's now been 5 years since Governor DeWine asked me to lead the Department of Development, although it seems like it's been longer than 5 years. I feel like COVID added a few years to all of our lives, or maybe it took away, depending on how you look at it. But I am fortunate to be part of an administration that truly wants to see each and every Ohioan live up to their full potential. And all of us in Columbus and everyone in this room are driven by the same goal. And we want to be able to create the most prosperous, thriving economy in Ohio. And we all benefit from that. And we're seeing that growth firsthand right now. The public and private investments that are happening in Ohio are a really, really big deal. Automotive giants like Honda, we love Honda, and GM, we still love GM. We still love GM. And Ford, they're investing billions of dollars in our state to produce electric vehicles in Ohio. Tech companies like Google and Amazon are investing here because they know that this is the place, because we have the infrastructure that they need to grow their operations around the world. And of course, Intel, they're setting up shop, and that's another transformational project that's going to have an impact on every single county in Ohio. And projects like these, they have a major ripple effect on the economy. And they're driving up the demand for goods and services all across the state. And that's why it's really important that we keep up the momentum, because every single one of us is benefiting from these new developments. And we know that one of the major reasons that companies are choosing to invest here in Ohio is because we've been investing in ourselves. A long time ago, somebody really smart, a lot smarter than me, said, why would the private sector be willing to invest in a community that wasn't willing to invest in itself? And so I think we've been kind of taking that mantra over the last several years with the help of our friends in the General Assembly, and we've been investing in our state. So thanks to that support of our partners in the Ohio General Assembly, this year alone, we're going to be investing more than $1 billion in projects. $1 billion in projects across the state of Ohio. And these projects, we love this word, these projects are going to be transformational for our state. So whether it's restoring a historic building to house new families, researching how to beat infectious diseases at the Cleveland Clinic, or building the infrastructure a company needs to expand in Northeast Ohio, we're going to be ensuring Ohio will sustain growth for generations. And these investments are also important to bringing people to Ohio, but they're also key to keeping people here. Keeping people here in Ohio. And when we put money into things like infrastructure and downtown redevelopment and revitalization, or we tear down blighted buildings, we're creating places for Ohioans and for future Ohioans to live and to work. We want everyone to be able to picture themselves living a great life here in the heart of it all. And we know that to address the workforce challenges that we face today, well, we have to encourage more people to live here and to move here, and our future workforce to stay here. And this is not only for the jobs that we have available, but for also the quality of life that we have here. Northeast Ohio is a great place to live. You know how great it is. It's why you're here. The schools and the communities. You've lived here for a long time, most of you. And we need you to help shout that from the rooftops. And so that said, we've been fully embracing the new Heart of It All brand. And we've been more intentional about how we market the state. And that approach is more holistic. And it's really, it's not just touting Ohio as a great place to visit. That's nice. But it's also a great place to start and raise a family. I came to Ohio to learn. I found a nice guy. He was an Ohio guy. Not from Northeast Ohio, but from Northwest Ohio. But, you know, Ohio's a great place to start and raise a family, to pursue an education, to grow or start a business, and the place where you can live your best life. Here it is in Ohio. And you know, your companies are a key part of the success story that we're not only telling, but we're living. And when you look back at Ohio's history, our state has heavily relied on the manufacturing industry to help really drive the economy. And it's continuing to do so today. So whether it's iron or steel or paint or recently electric cars, we've got aircraft engines and soon to be computer chips. Manufacturing is the cornerstone of our economic strength. Today, Ohio is ranked third in the nation for the number of manufacturing employees. Not bad. I mean, I'd like to be number one. I work for the two most competitive people I know. I might be the third most. That third in the nation ranking is almost 700,000 hardworking Ohioans. And we work hard for them every single day. And this really critical industry not only helps build products, but it builds communities. And it helps sustain livelihoods. And it's also responsible, this is my favorite part of this speech, but that industry is also responsible for the three most important words in the marketplace today: made in Ohio. Made in Ohio. Somebody got that wrong once. Do you know who it was? I think it was like made in the USA, but it was like the two most important words. Do you remember that? You can look it up. He might be the commander-in-chief. So we all know that a thriving manufacturing industry demands a skilled and adaptive workforce. And Ohio's workforce is a really, it's a top priority. And it's a top priority, and workforce development continues to be a key focus for Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor Husted. And the administration understands that a booming workforce is vital to guaranteeing that all Ohioans have a chance to reach their maximum potential. Many of Ohio's new jobs require skilled technicians or engineers and programmers. And we've heard the concerns of community leaders and our business owners when we've traveled around the state. And the reality is that we've done a really good job of economic development over the last several years, and we have more jobs right now than we can fill. And many times, it's a major challenge to find. I mean, you know this. It's a major challenge to find qualified people to fill open positions, and I know that you face that reality each and every single day. So in order to combat a changing marketplace, we have to prepare and develop Ohio's workers for the future. You're doing that. You're doing that here. And one of the ways that we're helping solve this problem is providing opportunities for employees who want to take the next step in their careers and helping them train with new skills. We've got Tech Cred. How many of you know about Tech Cred? Yeah. Good. We love Tech Cred. It helps bring together businesses who are hiring and workers who are ready for the next step in their careers. We're upskilling current and prospective employees, which really means that Ohioans are receiving free job training to help them qualify for a better job. It's a win-win for Ohio. And the best part about Tech Cred is that it was business focused, it was business led, it came to us from businesses. It wasn't a government program, it came to us from the industry. And it's just one of those workforce programs that we're championing. But we've also created career pathways to help support students and parents with the skills and the knowledge and the training to succeed and become lifelong learners with tools like pre-apprenticeships and College Credit Plus and industry-recognized credentials. We're really helping students prepare for their future careers. We even have a program that helps pair students who are interested in manufacturing with businesses that need help. Last year alone, we had 80% of our interns who were offered a full-time job. Not a bad pipeline. And those are just a couple of examples of how Ohio is providing opportunities to help empower workers and businesses and overall help strengthen the economic potential of our great state. We know that you've got a lot of great jobs out there. And we recognize that there are a lot of challenges that we could face in the future, which is why we're not resting. We're committed to coming up with solutions that help solve these statewide workforce issues and ensuring that our future generations have rewarding careers and successes, not in other places, in other states, but right here in Ohio. And ideas, like I said, that I just mentioned, they happen when we have people who are willing to work together, and that really is the key to all of this. Economic development is a team sport, which is why I think I like it so much. I'm a big fan. It's important when we all work together. It's better for our families, it's better for our friends. Our success does not happen in silos. If anybody tells you that, you send them to me. I'd be happy to set them straight. We rely on all of you, quite frankly, for your local perspectives. A lot of great things get done in Columbus, but the best things in Ohio actually are getting done in the hinterlands, like I like to say. So I encourage each and every one of you to reach out. When you've got ideas, you've got things that are working, we want to know what they are, because we want to share them. An old mayor term I use a lot. Mayors steal shamelessly, and we share passionately. Yeah. There's no patent on good ideas. I mean, maybe in the private sector. So let me wrap up here, and then I'd love to take some questions from you. You know, at the Department of Development, we're not merely just watching from the sideline. We are actively participating and playing in the game. And our dedication, whether that's to workforce development or community development or economic development, and our dedication to our manufacturers extends way beyond our rhetoric. I can promise you that. It's firmly embedded in the policies and the investments that we're making every single day. The public and private investments that we're seeing across the state, they are a really, really, really big deal. And they're happening because of the collaboration between the DeWine-Houston administration and the General Assembly and so many others, and local implementation. And we're just getting started. That's the really great news in all of this. We're just getting started. And there are headwinds, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of other things that we have to address together. Yeah, there are a lot of issues. But the good news is that we're solution-focused. And together, we're building a really promising future for Ohio's manufacturing industry. So, keep linked up, right? We've got this thing, and we'll do it together. I really can't wait to see what we're going to achieve in these next several years in Ohio, the heart of it all. Thank you so much for having me. Okay. Not bad on time. Questions? All right, you got everything solved here. That's good. In the back.
So if you were advising a young person starting their career, what advice would you give them?
Oh gosh, wow. My goodness, the world is your oyster, right? Go for it. Don't be afraid to take your shot. There are so many opportunities in this world right now. You know, you could do just about anything. And I think about when I did not plan on doing the whole politics, public service thing. It just happened, really. You know, I graduated college. Right before I graduated college, I got the opportunity, my advisor in college, best guy ever, by the way, Ray McCandless. He said, hey, would you be interested in doing an internship in local government? I mean, I thought I was going to graduate with my political science degree and maybe go to law school. My dad was like, what are you going to do with a political science degree? And I was like, Dad, I'm going to be really good at Jeopardy. And so I do this internship in local government for like the community planning and engineering department. And I fell in love with local government. I had no idea what I was doing. And it was like a small town. And the town that I came from, Syracuse, Indiana, was like 5,000 people. Findlay was like a metropolis to me. It's like 40,000 people. And I absolutely loved it. I ended up doing the internship for, I don't know, about a year and a half. And then right before I was graduating, the mayor at the time, John Stozick, he was like, hey, Lydia, would you be interested in sticking around and working full time for us? And I was like, really? Like, this was a long time ago, by the way. And I said, yes, this would be great. And fast forward, and here I am. I was mayor for 7 years in Findlay, and I'm so glad I said yes to Mike DeWine to be able to lead this department. But what I would say is, one, don't be afraid to take your shot, but two, you don't have to go to college to get to have a great life. There are so many opportunities out there right now, and Ohio's a great place to live. So don't be afraid to take your shot. You don't have to go to college to live a great life, but if you're going to choose to live a great life, Ohio's the place to do it. That's my advice. Anything else? Yes?
Hey, like Roger's got like a great team under him, Teresa.
Yeah.
They know how to go and to you and ask for what they need.
We love them. We
No, I
wish
know
we
that.
could
He's got a
duplicate them.
team here, but like when I go to like Mahoning County, Youngstown, like there, and where I don't see the AWT there. Is there someone at your level that's actually? I apologize if there is. I'm relatively new to the area out there.
Yeah.
I apologize if
Yeah.
the person's here.
I'm like, let me introduce you to the person in
Thank you.
Youngstown.
I'm not going to be
Yeah.
I hope that as new to that area, that as I go through it
Yeah.
and I'm counting the pavement,
Yeah.
that something just explodes over that way.
Yeah.
There's just so much there and so much to get.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's all I was asking. I apologize if that person's in the room.
No, it's okay. There's actually an AWT in that area, and we'd be happy to get you linked up to that industry sector partnership as well. But this concept where you have industry and local collaboration and education, working together. It's a fairly, I'll call it a new concept. But these industry sector partnerships are starting to ruminate and come together in other parts of the state, and it's because they work, right? And AWT is great. It's wonderful. It's doing really good things, and it's one of those that we hold up around the state as a wonderful example of some success that's happening. But we're going to get you connected with the folks in the Mahoning Valley. Yes.
You mentioned the importance of working together.
Yeah.
What does that look like at the local level in a little more detail?
Yeah. So the collaboration at the local level is absolutely important, and it's so elementary. It seems like it's pretty easy to get people to work together, but it's actually very challenging for a lot of reasons, and a lot of it can be as simple as some long-standing rivalry that goes back to like high school days, right? So you've got, particularly at the county level, you've got like an East Side High School and a West Side High School, and we just don't want to work together from like the 1960s. And you laugh, but it's true. And so you have to have everyone rowing together in the same boat in the right direction. And in order for economic development to truly work, everyone has to be on the same page, doing and carrying out the same vision and the same mission. And you can't have splinter groups. And the moment that happens, it's very difficult to win. And we've seen it in different parts of the state. And those that work together and collaborate win. Those that do not fall behind. And you're going to hear some news after the first of the month about some communities across the state of Ohio. They're not necessarily large communities, but they're mid-size communities that are winning. And we actually have more of those mid-sized communities that are winning than any other state in the country. And those communities that are winning, they've got this collaborative spirit and of teamwork figured out. And if the more we have that happening, the better we'll be. But public sector and the private sector have to be in lockstep. And when they're not, then you'll just be fighting each other. But the strategy has to be agreed upon. And it seems really easy. It's like, oh, well, why wouldn't we get along? Why don't we all have it figured out? There's just a lot of its long-standing history. But I know you all are doing really well. you've got it all figured out. Yes, sir.
How long is the tech credit funded for?
Oh, great question. So I know we just had it funded in the budget, so we're good for another 18 months, right? Yeah, good for another 18 months. We got lots of money for tech cred. And what is it? It's February, so applications will open up again in March, I think. Yeah, we got lots of money. Yes, sir.
Welcome, Director.
Thank you.
You mentioned Intel.
Yeah.
There's been some talk and rumors. I know there's a big upswing with BOA and meetings already happening, and then we hear some roadblocks. Can you explain
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
and how we can help you over?
Yeah. So look, here's the story. Big construction projects first of all, it's a $20 billion project. The work continues at Intel. They've gone vertical. If you were to drive to Licking County right now, and it has transformed. Like the roads, the power lines, the gas lines, like it's a different place right now. It just looks different. So they're moving forward. They may not be moving as fast as they would like to be moving. The construction jobs they're going well. Their suppliers are actually going well. We've actually seen an increase in the number of Ohio suppliers to Intel go up. In fact, I think it's double. I think we had 150 initially, and I think we're at like 300 plus right now. So there were existing companies in Ohio that were already supplying Intel at one of their existing sites. That number's gone up. So I think sometimes it's hard to break through the media noise, but there are things happening. There are new suppliers to Ohio that are actively looking at sites. We've had a couple of wins that may or may not have gotten through, broken through different media networks. But it's all going well. And they're just, I don't think that they're moving as fast as they had wanted to move. What was the term? It was like tepid? Tepid pace? Not tepid. What was the term that he had? It was bigger than rapid, but really, really fast. And they're just not moving as fast, I think, as Gelsinger wanted them to move. But they have to have everything in by 2028, and we fully expect that to happen. But yes, ma'am. Great. Okay. So that is not my level of expertise, but I know people that can help you figure that out. So we're going to get you connected with Julie, and she's going to get you my card, and we will get you connected to the right folks. I do think that we're focusing, the way we're set up right now, especially with Director Dakin, working with education and workforce. I think we're better situated to kind of be targeted to help with those things. So we'll get you connected to the right people so that you can have those conversations. I don't know if there's money available or not, but I know people that can help you. Yeah. And when we have opportunities like this to go out and talk, it's so much more than just a speech. It's really an opportunity for us to be connected and to answer questions like that. I mean, I think we've had moments where someone's like, hey, I have a business. I'm looking for maybe gap funding to help, with the acquisition of a building or XYZ, and it's really a nice opportunity for us to help them. And we have a couple of success stories here in Lake County that we can point to where that's been good. who knows? We might have money to be helpful. And the next time we come back, we can talk about it. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Director, yeah, two things. First of all, you talked about tech cred. I just want to say here in Lake County, we're honored to have the Tech Cred Education Administrator of the Year, Joe Glavin from Better Schools. Secondly, you heard a lot of you talk about this, getting people back to the workforce or making more people, the scarcity of daycare available.
Yeah.
In the state of Ohio.
Yep.
You and I have talked about this
Yep.
a lot of times, we're getting anywhere on developing. I know the governor wants to grow daycare capacity,
Yeah.
but we can't get a lot of these working parents in the workforce.
Yeah.
They're challenging daycare.
Right, right. So I think to your point, one of the things that we have been focused on, and it's not just daycare, right? I mean, there are a lot of issues that keep people on the bench and not in the game. And we want to know what those issues are, but daycare is certainly one of them. One of the things that we've been talking about is how do we use our existing incentive structure to help mostly our manufacturers, because sometimes they have the capability of instituting maybe some solutions on premise. But how do we use our existing incentive structure, like our job creation tax credits, to help them maybe perhaps provide daycare on site? So we're working at looking at how that could potentially be helpful. The question is, whether or not we can get enough value out of the tax credit to make it worthwhile to the manufacturers, and whether that's a job creation tax credit, a job retention tax credit, or something else. Because look, in some of our manufacturers, particularly our larger manufacturers, if we could create space on site, particularly in a second or a third shift situation, you may be able to open up space in other areas. So we're looking at that. But we also recognize that there are other things that keep people out of work. That could be just the lack of ability to afford daycare. We are looking very strongly at wages. We are looking at health, overall health of individuals, and how we get people healthier. It's a holistic approach to things. And inflation is not helping. Inflation is not helping. I mean, we were looking at the other day, it was just yesterday, a great company that was looking to come to Ohio, and they were offering $27 an hour jobs. Sounds great at $27 an hour, but when you start thinking about the amount of money that people have to pay per month for rent, and then the cost for food, and then the cost for childcare, and then the cost for utilities, and the cost for health care, and that's just all pre-tax. There's like nothing left, and that's just one person. It doesn't even count, if you have more than one child, or if you're in a two-parent household. If you just do the math, it's hard. It costs a lot of money to live right now, even in Ohio. So there are a lot of things that we're talking about, but childcare is definitely one of them. I promise things are good, though. I don't want you to think they're bad. It's just I want you to know that these are things that we are genuinely concerned about, and we have a lot of optimism about where our state is. We're very competitive right now. A lot of people want to be here. The great news is when you look at our demographics, the trends historically have been we've been losing a lot of people. We're not doing that anymore. So we're not having the drain like we were. So that's really good news. Now we haven't had a baby boom in a while. The DeWine family's doing great. But so our demographics, I think, are looking better. Our economic health is better. Our job numbers are better. We're investing in our communities at a level that we haven't invested in decades. Our manufacturers are doing better. We're doing better at helping with workforce. But we still have things to work on together. But Ohio's time is now. And we're very happy to have you together with us. Yes. 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 So we have a couple of pilot programs going on. Director Dan Schroeder is working on that at Job and Family Services. We have a couple pilot programs going on currently to see if we can address that effectively. There's a lot of issues with the benefits cliff because of its, the majority of the benefits that people are on are federally regulated. And so there's concerns with that. But there are a couple pilot programs that he's working on. Okay, go out and do great things. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Director Mahalik. It was great. She was here in town a few months ago and was able to come over and see the facility, and we had time to sit down and talk, and I'm really very impressed with all they're doing at the state level. There are a lot of great things that happened with AWT this past year. We'll highlight a few of our K through 12 programming. So our STEM to Career, we spent some time in collaboration with Partners in Science Excellence. We had done this years ago, and then COVID kind of put the kibosh on it. So we resurrected that. Partners in Science Excellence brings in teachers to learn things about manufacturing and other career pathways. So they came here and visited the training center and learned what they can take back to their classroom and what they can do to bring their classrooms here. So we're excited about that. The next Partners in Science Excellence AWT event is at Lincoln later this month. I think it'll be later on in the presentation. You'll get some dates up there. Our summer manufacturing camp was here in the building. That was really exciting. So for 2 weeks, we had 1 week of all girls, 5th and 6th graders, and 1 week co-ed. They had a great time. You can see they're racing their little bots. So not only building it, but then testing things out and seeing how it works. It was interesting to watch those students with those bots. You could tell as they built it, the difference in how it would walk depending on how they glued it or how heavy one piece was compared to the other side. So they learned a lot through those camps. We took them on tours to manufacturing companies to tie together those hands-on projects that they do in camp and what that looks like as a career in manufacturing. So exciting group of kids. There were a few that came back from the prior year, and we have a lot of parents that are saying, could you expand the age range? So we're looking at that as well. Our Robobots and Junior Bots, we had an exciting day. This past year was the first time we were back open to the public. So the prior year we were still masked and friends and family, so it was nice to have the full crowd. We had ATech Machinists won. They have an incredible team. They incorporate their project into their CTE program. So we see that as an amazing thing. Sometimes people say that's not fair because they're working on it, but they are dedicated to that robot. They have it very precise. They ended up winning not only the competition, but they also won Best Engineered. So, and then Lakeshore Compact, Lake Catholic took second place with Freedon as their sponsor. Robert Hale works with those students, and this year he's going to win, I'm sure. And then third place was, I want to say Madison, Team Athena won third. Berkshire, and we're working with, so CVCA won their interview and documentation, and Berkshire had an interesting situation. They put a team together, and then they didn't have a company sponsor, and because they're out a ways, it was harder to find somebody. So we worked with them, we helped them with the cost of things. They came to the event, and did incredibly well across all categories, but they really needed that help from the manufacturer that they didn't have. So they really were the team of the year because they still persevered through that. Working on getting teams like that company sponsors is really important. So if it's something that you're not doing yet and you want to do, please reach out. The other thing we've done is we've opened up this facility and marked off times in the machining lab and even bring in some of our apprenticeship instructors to help with that. So if you don't have the hands-on experience or you're not able to bring the kids into your facility, you could bring them here and work with Stevie to coordinate that. We have a video of Lily Brightman, who was on the Robobots team for Beaumont. I think
Hello,
we'll see that
my name
now.
is Lily Brightman, and I'm here today to discuss my experiences participating for 3.5 years in Beaumont's Robotics Club. Similar to the BattleBots competitions you may see on TV, the team designs and manufactures a small robot with a destructive weapon while collaborating with a manufacturing company sponsor and gaining real-world experiences in STEM fields. The team then competes with the robot in the regional AWT Robobots competition and the NRL national competitions, going head-to-head with other equally destructive bots from other schools. Moderated by Mrs. Santo, the Director of Academic Scholars, and the head of the Mathematics Department, Mrs. Stephanie Moran, Beaumont's Robobots team aims to encourage intellectual curiosity and independent thinking. The Beaumont team has achieved much success at both regional and national level competitions, especially in the categories of Best Engineered, Best Presentation, and Best Documentation. In addition to success in the cage, this team has produced alumni who went on to attend prestigious universities such as the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, The Ohio State University, Rochester Institute of Technology, University of Dayton, and Case Western Reserve University. The goal of the robotics team, however, is not only to annihilate our competitors in competitions, but also to gain valuable skills applicable in the real world. Through our teamwork and cooperation, we learn how to support each other as a team. This aligns closely with the mission of Beaumont School and embodies a spirit of leadership and collaboration. In terms of personal experience, when I joined the robotics team, I did not expect us to be the ones manufacturing parts. But because this experience is meant to be so hands-on, I learned actual skills used by professionals in manufacturing every day. Specifically, I learned how to think more like an engineer in the brainstorming process, how to compromise on a design so that everyone contributes and improves the bot, how to model a design in CAD, how to use a bridge machine, how to solder, and how to use an EDM. Aside from these STEM and engineering-focused skills, robotics has taught me about time management, communication, and constant improvement. In order to have an effective bot, you cannot procrastinate, you must communicate well with your team members, and you must maintain a growth mindset so you can be prepared to continuously tweak and upgrade your bot. Although the task of creating a robot from scratch can seem daunting, your moderators, sponsor, and team members are there with you every step of the way. This experience is well worth all the time and effort, as you will gain valuable knowledge, make friends along the way, and hopefully, as we like to say, send the competition home in a box. Thank you.
They're always so cute, and then they're annihilating the competition, so people aren't expecting it. So during 2023, we were focused a lot on outreach as well. We participated in a lot of career fairs with local schools throughout Lake Geauga and Ashtabula counties, as well as virtual career fairs. We've worked real closely with the ESCs, both Western Reserve and Northeast Ohio, along with Patricia Egan and her team at LEAF. I know I saw her here somewhere. There she is. And they're doing a tremendous job. They've added manufacturing as a career pathway, and that information goes out. So all of those families that are looking at, what is your junior year or high school, senior year high school student going to do with their future, manufacturing as a pathway is in all of that literature now. And so they're doing a great job sharing that out. We've done some webinars and stuff as well. Our 10th annual Think MFG Expo that we did, each year we work in conjunction with Willoughby Western Lake County, Mentor, and Eastern Lake County Chambers and put on that event. We were at Harvey High School, and I have to say it's going to be hard for, what are we doing? Joe, where's Joe? Is he out in the hallway? Joe's got a high bar to hit because when we were at Harvey, Steve and Kristen's team of students, they were amazing. They helped bring everything into the facility for the manufacturers the day of, and took everything back out to their cars. So we'll have to get after him about doing that for us at Paradigm. But just really a great, impressive group of kids, and it was excellent to work with Harvey. You know, they sit on that committee and work with us throughout the year planning that event. So it's a great way for manufacturers to interact with those students that are looking at opportunities. So if you've done it before, or if you haven't and you would like to do a table at that event, it's always the first Thursday in October. This year it'll be October 3rd. That event was put together because we recognize the great need. I know the people that are working in the schools are trying to help the students find a pathway, and the manufacturers are looking for people, so it's a great way to bring those two together. AWT's apprenticeship program continued to grow in 2023 with 8 cohorts and 75 apprentices working towards earning their journeyman certificate. During 23, we added some company-focused cohorts, and I saw John Corrigan was in the back. I don't know if he left. Trueline has one of those cohorts. So, you know, instead of sending a few people, sending a whole group to fill that cohort. We also updated our standards. We found that when the standards were originally written, it was written to be 18 years old to participate in our apprenticeship. And we ended up with an employer that had someone that had gone through Auburn. She was very young. She completed the program. She was working for Fisher, and she wasn't quite 18. So at that point, we changed the standard so that then 16 on up. So anybody that's coming through CTE, they can come straight out of those programs, go into our apprenticeship program. It also buys them a year off of their apprenticeship as well. Obviously, if you're part of the apprenticeship program, we have several here that have people in the program. You know that there's that on-the-job training component that you're doing in your own facility, and then there's the related instruction that we do here, hands-on, and then also through Tooling U, which we also added in 2023. There are schools across our region and across the states that are using Tooling U as their online learning platform, so we're working with SME to offer Tooling U as part of our online. We often have conversations. So Matt, I do know the ISPs in Mahoning. So we get together and do quarterly convenings with the other ISPs, and we'll be with them, I think, 2 weeks from now. So when we get together, one of the things that they say is always a challenge is how do you find an instructor to teach, and how do you find someone that's qualified and wants to spend the time? When I started 2 years ago, we had 2 instructors. We went to 6 by the end of 22, and now we're at 11 by the end of 23. So what we do is we give people the opportunity to teach a little bit so it's not as taxing on them and their schedule. We pay them well, and we let them teach to their strong suit. So if they want to teach SolidWorks, I'm not going to ask them to teach manual machining. And it makes it much easier. So we've been working with other ISPs to kind of share that format as well. It gives us the ability to be flexible. There have been times where COVID has hit and an instructor is down, and then we just call on someone else. Colin's a great one to come in and fill in for people when they're out. We also introduced Work Advance in 2023. So that was one of the things that manufacturers had said quite a bit to me as I was out talking the first year, is that that's great and I want to do upskilling, but I don't have enough people, I need more people. So through Good Jobs Challenge grant funding, we were able to introduce an entry-level earn and learn program, which is called Work Advance. So it's been really interesting to see. We've had several groups go through. We have one group that's finishing today, another group of 10 people that are interviewing. So we polled the manufacturers and said, if you had someone that had no experience in manufacturing, but there were some things, basic skills that they had, what would those be? And we listened to the manufacturers, and it was blueprint reading, shop math, metrics and measurement. We work with them on soft skills, so interview and resume prep, financial literacy, And we have a lot of great community partners that we work with on that. So OMJ Lake County has been a big part of working with Work Advance folks, as well as Vector Technical, the Society of HR Managers. Cardinal Credit comes in and does financial literacy. So and then several of the businesses right here, so Mum, Freedon, and Parker all host a tour. So that group will go and do a tour of the facility. We partner each round with probably 6 to 10, probably around 6, I would say, manufacturers. Kaylin reaches, I keep looking to Kaylin because she's doing Work Advance. So she works with them, finds out if they have an open job and they want to hire out of this session. And so they come in and talk to the participants. They can ask questions, find out about that job, what it's like to work there. And then at the end of so probably the end of today, Kaylin will work with them. They will rank those employers, and she will go through and set them up with interviews, and then hopefully they'll be starting for the manufacturers in a few weeks. So it's a great program. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hands-on stuff. We teach blueprint reading through Legos, which everyone loves, and we've incorporated that into the high school programs. So for high school, Perry and Fairport Harbor, thanks to Rita Soder, brought kids the beginning of December to do a version. So instead of 2 weeks for 3 hours a day, we did a week for 4 hours each day. And they came here and we worked with them. We've also worked with Mayfield schools. They're doing a Certified Manufacturing Associate credential and OSHA 10. And then they're starting work at Swagelok. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of flexibility. This program, in my opinion, is as good as it is because of the collaboration. We knew what the manufacturers wanted to do, but we're not teaching in a classroom every day. So I reached out to Rita Soder and said, can you help us? How do we do that? So she was a big part of making this a packaged program that is really successful, and we're happy to be duplicating it and expanding it. I think let's go ahead and see Anthony's, because this is one of our great success stories. We work a lot with anyone across the community, but we're doing a lot with Lake Geauga Fund, or Lake Geauga Recovery Center and Project Hope. And this is Anthony.
Hi, my name is Anthony Martin. I went through the AWT Work Advance program. I am now an employee at Freedon Corporation. I'm a machinist. The AWT program helped me in several ways. Helped me change my life. I was kind of in a bad spot. I came from, I was in jail and then an inpatient rehabilitation center. And AWT kind of gave me a second shot. AWT was a blessing. They helped me get a career in a good field, a good paying job. The teachers there were amazing. Everyone at AWT is amazing. They helped me in more ways than just acquiring a job. They've helped me in transportation. They've helped me with my interviews. They've helped me with learning different interview skills that help me get the job I have now. Everyone's been very great. I have nothing but good things to say about them. Without AWT, I don't know where I would be in my life today.
So it is a great opportunity for us to be able to help impact individuals and then supply manufacturers with those new workers. The catch is, as a manufacturer, you have to be willing to hire someone that doesn't have the skill set, but maybe has the right attitude. So like Anthony came in, the first day he walked in the door, he came up and shook my hand and said, thank you for the opportunity. And I think he thanks Roger every time he sees him. So, you know, I think hire for attitude and then train. I think that works out well. I will work to get you guys out of here because I know we're at 10. This training center is your resource, you know, as a member company, as a community organization that's partnered with us. If there's something that you're looking to do, whether it's training, hosting an event, let us know. I know you guys are kind of crammed in here today. This normally is about 100. We have, I think, 120 today. Across the other side, if you're milling around, there's 2 classrooms that hold about 35. We do a lot of things with a number of different partners. We've had a lot of people in and through the building during the past year, and since the ribbon cutting, it's been amazing. If you haven't noticed already, on either side of the logo out in the hallway, there are plaques. Those are companies, organizations, individuals, foundations that have invested in this facility. So we're grateful to all of them. Everything you see in here is paid for. If you're interested in having your logo out there and it's not already, let me know. There's plenty of room to add more. We are always grateful for the partnership and the resource that is Lake Tran in our facility, or in our community, and we are especially grateful in this facility. In 2018, AWT helped establish the route that goes down Tyler, and in 2023, thanks to Ben Capel and Representative Calendar's efforts, they built a bus shelter on our property. We granted an easement, and when you drive by, you'll see it has benches, it has heat, lights, electricity to charge your phone. Soon it will have dynamic signage. So when you go in there and it says the bus is coming in 3.5 minutes. So it's a great way for people to come here and train. And there's sidewalk right up to the building and sidewalk along the road. So hopefully we'll see more sidewalks along Heisley as well, or along Tyler as well, because it's a little scary as you're driving through and people are walking on the road. We also instituted AWT Go, so anyone that's associated with our programs can ride Lake Tran free of charge. So that's to work, to school, to the grocery store, whatever they need to do. If they're participating in a program of ours, they can ride free of charge. We had a lot of use of our facility this last year. The list goes on and on, but we've hosted Cleveland Engineering Society, Leadership Lake County, Partners in Science Excellence Annual Symposium, Western Reserve Junior Service League. Avery Dennison did some lean training here. Eaton held a hiring event. We've had Madison, Perry, and different groups of teachers come and tour the facility, do activities. So I hope that gives you some ideas, everything from the conference room for a small quarterly meeting like TDC did, or something large in here. Our caterer is wonderful and he would be happy to work with you. We also, as I mentioned, use this space for robobots. So if the teams need a space, they can do that here. I want to tell you about a great thing that we did this past year. We see the value in having conversations with other community leaders. So we do a lot of collaborating with different groups of people. So currently, and most of the time it's around education, STEM, workforce development, and manufacturing. Currently, I represent AWT on the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio STEM Advisory Committee, Area 19 Workforce Development Board, ESC of Northeast Ohio BAC Steering Committee. Stevie and I have been planning this year's statewide Summer Manufacturing Camp Summit as members of the steering committee, and Stevie's serving on the United Way of Lake County's Community Investment Committee. So we're always reaching out, trying to connect with others. We received a call, it was probably a few months ago now, through connections and conversations and being open to helping people. We got a call from Mike Fricke. Is that how you say it, Mike? Fricke. And he's with Olon Resurka, but he was doing this project with a Braille periodic table of elements. And I don't know whether you saw in the entryway, it was kind of over next to the Nook. And he was looking for someone to help him kind of mass produce this. And we looked at what we have and it wasn't a fit, but who did we know? And I ended up reaching out to Tony Neary because she knows everyone. And I said, who could you recommend? And she said, well, I'll put you with Troy Spear from Kent, and he has a CTE program there. It just so happens he has the perfect equipment for that, and Mike lives like 5 minutes down the road from there. So Stevie and Mike and Troy all met with the kids, and they're super excited, And so that looks like that's going to be a project for those students going forward. So it helps, and they're having an impact on the accessibility to STEM for the community at large. Those boards are going to go across the United States. So just very exciting, and making STEM more accessible for people. I mean, what better project is that? We had our expanded funding in 2023, and I will just let Stevie put that up there. That's, it's a lot of grant funding. We had, I would say, when Director Mahalik says, I will connect you with the person that you need to be connected to, she absolutely means it. The Ohio Registered Apprenticeship Incentive Program was a reimbursement program that we had participated in one round and received $25,000. We participated in another round and were to receive $100,000. It got lost somewhere in the red tape. We applied, we were approved, and then we didn't get the money. I reached out to Julie. Julie connected me with the right person, and then they made sure that we received those funds. So it really does make a difference, and they are really about connecting people. So in 2024, our goal is to expand our programs and partnerships. We're currently surveying if people are interested in an industrial maintenance apprenticeship program. So if that's something you're interested in, speak with Kaylin Clark. She's trying to figure out the interest, and then if there is, we will launch that in the fall, which starts around mid-August. We added AWT STEM Days. If you are following us on social media, you've probably seen that, but it's a concept following along from SMI camp. So instead of a full week, it's a day or a few hours. Kids come in from 3rd through 6th grade, do some projects with STEM instructors that we've brought in from the community. It's a great time. We did Martin Luther King Day on, we had one session that we put out there. Within 8 hours it was full, so we booked another session and it filled up too. And out of those 48 students, only 9 of them had been to summer camp before. So they were all new kids, all word of mouth. The families were really excited. So every time we can get people from the community into this building and to see manufacturing, and this is what it looks like, it's high tech, it's clean, then it becomes that much more of an opportunity for them and their family members. We're working with Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio. Jane and I have been having some conversations about tying in badging for those camps. So when people come in and do the camp, that the curriculum would follow a Girl Scout badge and we're looking at brownies, so 2nd and 3rd graders. That's a very large group of girls in this area. Capture them now, get them interested, and continue them through the pipeline. We're hosting monthly lunch and learns. You'll see those coming through on social media. We did AI in manufacturing. Next up is a business roundtable and tax benefits. So Jason Lee from the Mentor Public Library and Andrew Schuler from Corrigan Krause will be here on February 20th. All of the events and activities are on the website. We are building an RFID interactive display out in the main area. So it'll house an RFID reader. We will receive parts from any of our manufacturers that want to participate. We'll put a tag on it. Ronnie's going to go out and do some interviewing of the companies. So if you're interested in being part of that, what would happen is you'd give us a part, he'd tag it, he'd take some video. When people run that over the reader, it would launch what part it is, who makes it, what it goes into. Much more interactive for all of those schools that are coming to tour or the summer camps and stuff. So reach out and we're going to be reaching out to a bunch of people, but if it's something you're interested in, please let us know. The next PSE STEM to Career is on February 19th, so that's coming up quick too. We are building and expanding partnerships. In the summertime, we were thinking about doing more summer, like the SMI camps, but instead of building out our whole program, we started talking to the YMCA. They have summer camps all summer long. So we're doing STEM days for the YMCA. They're going to come out on different days and have STEM activities here. We are also talking to Salvation Army. They're looking at their summer camps and doing that same thing. We're doing employer resource fairs in conjunction with the Salvation Army. Auburn Career Center, they recently installed a quality lab, and we're going to take our quality apprentices there, and then the people that go through their quality program there are going to feed into our apprenticeship program, and we're working together on shared credentials. We will be hosting Women in STEM career exploration in partnership with SME. We were pleased to inherit and carry on the Girl Scout Gold Award project developed by Josie Smizer, Jen's daughter. Josie was an active member of Robobots when she was at Beaumont, and if you know Girl Scouts, that needs to carry on. When you create that project, it needs to live past you completing it. It's not a one-time event. So we will be doing that with SME coming up probably in May. We're working with Greater Cleveland Career Consortium, Open Doors Academy, and CMSD for all of their after-school programs, incorporating Work Advance into that. And Ryan Zuzi at Perry Schools is already incorporating Work Advance into his, what is the name of that? It's like design and fabrication class curriculum. So he's doing a lot of the activity there, and then they're coming on a field trip here so they can still experience the lab. So lots of great things coming up. There's a number of dates on the website already. If there are topics that you're looking for lunch and learns, or there are training sessions that you're looking for your people, let us know, because that's something that we want to do. We want it to be what you're looking for. We're offering a tool optimization coming up shortly in conjunction with Sandvik and Fastenal. So there's still time to sign up for that as well. But if there's specific things that you're looking for, we partner with the ERC to do supervisory boot camps. There's another one of those coming up soon. So anything across the board, we want to be that resource and make sure that we're connecting people. This is your place to use, and we're working here for you. So please let us know if there's things that we can help with, and I appreciate all of you. I see so many faces that are so incredibly active in AWT, and I appreciate that. I hope, do you want to say something? I was trying to talk Roger into closing us out. Could you say?
I say good night. Is it working? It's working? Okay. All right, I'm Roger Sussar from Freedom Corporation. We're 55 years in business this month. And I cannot believe that God has let me be around this long and do all this stuff. And I do want to thank Teresa, Kaylin, Ronnie, and Stevie Dome back here for all the things that they've done. We have a group of 4. That's all it is. And it's just absolutely what we do. And I told all the state senators and the representatives and everything, it's beyond imagination that what we can do. And it's all because I am Thomas the Train, the little guy that keeps his ass moving up the hill every damn day, and I never stop. It's harder and harder and harder. This has been a tough year. I hit the 8 decades this year, and last year rather. Oh my God, I can't believe that. And it's all I can say to every one of you, all the guys, I know John's left. John Ribbick is here, Jr. I even got John Ribbick. I can't get money from John Ribbick Sr. John used to work with us, and him and his brother, Milan, and they started their company. But anyways, I wanted money from him because I know he's rich old Slovenian kid. But if you come here in the evening with the apprentice classes, the first 2 years, John Sr. is here with the kids, and our Eddie Kunis, who's been almost 50 years with us. It's amazing to see those 2 old-timers both speak with broken English and both take those youngsters and teach them things, that there is nobody with books, degrees, master degrees, PhD degrees, all that bullshit that can do anything. You have to cut some of this stuff out. But it's very, very true. We are a hands-on, kind of get her done kind of guy. We're just, like I said, we're Thomas the Train. We keep our ass moving up that hill. And someday I'll get to the top. I don't know when. But thank you all for coming. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done, all those people that have contributed and helped. I know I've pushed everybody, and I'm going to continue to push, because if we don't do this, there's going to be nothing made in America. And you finally learned that when you had COVID. COVID was a piece of, never mind. Anyways, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. A lot of you are going to have off on Monday too, so have fun Monday off. I'm taking President's Day off too.